and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup. Today we have a series called Nailed It, and I do this every couple of weeks, and it's nailed it with a question mark because you either nail it or you fail it. So basically what we do is we take a photo for inspiration, and there's a group of us. All participants are listed down below in the description box, and we use this photo either to recreate the look or to put our own spin on it so we can make it our own. There's only one rule with Nailed It, and that is that you have to use items that you already own. You are not allowed to purchase something new for a challenge. Now, this week, we are honoring the supermodel Stella Tennant, who recently passed away in December. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Stella Tennant, she was a huge supermodel in the 90s, but she actually continued working for many years after that. I believe even just a few years ago, she was still modeling. And the photo we are using today is from Stella's Nars campaign from a few years ago. So this was the last makeup campaign that I've seen with her. I'm not sure if she had any others. But one of the things that makes Stella Tennant such a great role model in general is that she really became active in a lot of important causes, particularly later in life. So she became the face of a lot of campaigns and so forth for reducing waste in fashion and for reducing energy use at home and things like that. So she was definitely very active in her home country, and I just think she's a great role model. So I wanted to honor her this time. She's got some really fantastic edgy looks. She's worked with all of the big fashion designers: Karl Lagerfeld, Helmut Lang, Alexander McQueen, Chanel, so forth. So, she's definitely been up there. She was with that whole group of supermodels with Kate Moss and Cindy Crawford and so forth. So one of Stella Tennant's most recognizable features has always been her eyebrows. She has incredibly straight eyebrows, and they are always a huge standout. So I'm going to do my best to make mine a little bit more like hers without obviously completely altering my shape, but I don't have super arched eyebrows, so shouldn't be too bad. The photo that we are using is from this Nars campaign here, and you can see you've got kind of this like pinkish purple shade on the upper lid and a blue shade on the lower lid, and everything is completely surrounded by black. And you can kind of see how the colors kind of meld out in the wing out here. So everything else is kept pretty simple. I just think this is gorgeous. This campaign is from 2013, and let's go ahead and get started. So for today's look, I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona 28 Pan Purple Blue palette. And there's a little video clip of this campaign online, and Kelly from Keep Beauty Real, she found this, she took a screenshot, and basically you can see that this orchid color is pretty deep in the crease, and then the rest of it is, it's just kind of washed, and you can see it's actually washed from here all the way over and kind of blends out. So I think the closest color match is going to be this one here down at the bottom. And this is the Refer 14. The shade that I'm using is called 82V Nina's Orchid. So we're going to start off in the crease, and I'm using a smaller crease brush because I don't think that the deepness of the crease is super evident when her eyes are open. I think one of the great things about Stella Tennant, in particular for, not just fashion, but for makeup and so forth, is that she had a lot of features that are considered more unconventional on supermodels. She's got those really straight eyebrows. Her eyes are a little bit more deep set. It's just her features are not the traditional look that you get for some of these models. And I think it makes her not only really unique, but just incredibly beautiful and more relatable in general. Because next I'm taking the Refer 01 into the same shade, and I'm just going to sweep this across my lid. So I tapped it off a little bit, and I'm getting some here in the inner corner. Oh gosh, this is a little bit too vibrant. I'm going to actually wipe this off. All right, so now I have my brush that's been wiped off. I'm just going to try to spread this color here So this is definitely too dark, and it's true that you can't really see her eyelids in the photo, but I still think it's gonna be a little bit too dark. So we're gonna move into the Surratt Creme de la Creme, and I'm taking the Sonia G Crease Pro. I'm gonna try to dilute this color a little bit. I actually think this color is getting more diluted. Probably not enough though. There, I actually think that that shade looks a lot better on my right eye. So let me replicate that on the left. Okay, so next I'm taking this is just my microfiber cloth I keep on my lap. I'm just gonna wipe this a little bit on the edges here. I'm just taking that Forever 14 again and just kind of going into that crease one more time. No additional shadow. Just want to deepen that up just a touch. And then for the lower lash line, I'm just going to take the Dior Denim Quad into this bright blue. And this is the Sonia G Pencil one. Now, she's got quite a bit of black eyeliner there, so I'm keeping the lower lash line a little bit thick so there's space for the black and still have the blue peeking out. Okay, so I wiped off the pencil one, and now I'm just going to kind of come from the lower lash line and bring that up. And I'm going in with the pencil 2 from Sonia G, and I'm just going to take some of this pink shade here and just kind of blend it out with that so that the two kind of meet and create a little bit of a purpley shade. Before I go in with the black liner, I just want to make sure that I have pink here because you can see it's actually on the side of her nose a little bit as well. So I just want to make sure that that is spanning the right area. Then I'm just taking my microfiber cloth and just running it right underneath that line there. Right, so now I'm going to take a soft black pencil liner and completely go around my eyes. So I'm taking the Chantecaille Luster Glide eyeliner in Raven, and I'm just going to go completely around my eyes. All right, so just taking the pencil one and just kind of going over the edges of this a little bit. I don't think hers look super soft on the edges. I feel like it looks a little bit buffed. It's a super thick line though. Wiped off the pencil one, and I'm just gonna go and go over this line again, see if some of the black will travel. It's pretty much set though. I waited a little too long. I'm just taking the pencil one and smoothing under the eye a touch. All right, this is a mess. I'm gonna add some mascara. Taking the Jones Road mascara here. Okay, so this is kind of a mess. We're gonna move in with the Gucci brow pencil, and this is shade number 3. I'm just gonna pencil in my brows today, and I'm gonna keep mostly with my shape, but I'm gonna try and go a little bit straighter back here. All right, just taking the spoolie side, brush it out a little bit. So these eyes, I shouldn't have gone in with so much black. So I know it looks really deep and thick around her eyes, but she's got a different eye shape and it looks better. This does not work for me at all, but oh well, we're going with it. Now for my base today, I do have on the Guerlain L'Essentiel foundation in 00N. This is the new one, the High Perfection. For blush, it looks like she's got a little bit of a peachy pink blush on, but it doesn't appear that there's any like contour or bronzer or anything. So let's move in with the blush next. For blush, I'm going to go into the Burberry Essential Glow palette this is the medium to dark one. I'm going to go into this first shade here, which is called Coral. I'm using the Sonia G Soft Cheek, and it looks like she just has a nice soft wash of color here, and it's a little bit more on the apple and just kind of brushes this way. Sorry, so many baby hairs. And then it doesn't look like there's that much highlight on her. There's a little bit on the top of the cheekbone, and I think actually most of it's lighting, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the white highlight from the Fair Burberry palette using the same brush, and I'm just gonna brush this right on top here. And I'm just kind of making it like a C around the eye. All right, so that's it for cheeks. And then for lips, it's like another peachy pink shade, but this one looks slightly metallic, so I know exactly which one I want to use. I'm taking the new Dior metallic lipstick. This is Rouge Dior 525 Sherry, and we're gonna dab this on, and then we're gonna top it with some gloss. This shade is a little bit deeper, so I'm gonna blot this. And then we need to add some more pink to this. So I'm taking, this is the Dior Lip Polish. This is old. I don't even know if they still make this, but it's the Lip Polish in 002. And we're just gonna add this on top. It's a little bit too glossy, so I'm gonna blot this down. And this is my final look. Can't really do her pose very well, but I tried. Anyway, I know the eyes are a definite fail. I think the colors ended up being okay. The pinkish orchid color on the upper lid is still a little bit too dark. I needed a lighter wash there. And I think with my eye shape, I just shouldn't have gone quite so dark with the black. I shouldn't have gone so thick. So I should have kept it closer and adapted to my eye shape instead of trying to make it look a little bit more like hers. So totally my fault there. I do think the blue was a good shade of blue. And I think that's basically it. You know, the cheeks and everything, I think they turned out okay. You know, my skin is not quite as porcelain as hers is, so it doesn't have quite the same effect, but I think the colors actually worked out pretty well. And lipstick might be a little bit too deep, but I think it's probably the closest I'm going to be able to do. Thank you so much for watching. Even though the look did not turn out the way I would have liked, I think it was still fun to try around and play with everything and just kind of see what I can do. So even when I mess up this badly on a look, I still come away with a few things that I have learned and that I can incorporate in my own normal makeup techniques. So I think that's really one of the biggest takeaways from this. So even though it didn't turn out well, I at least learned some things. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out the other participants. Again, everybody is listed down below in the description box. Thanks so much. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.